Okay, today I will going to prove to you trigonometry identity. Some of the trigonometry identity you have learned in your secondary too, right? That if this is my x, angle x, let's say I have a right angle triangle here. So let's call my length of this side as my ABC. So length of this side, let's call it A. And this one is B. This is C. My hypotenuse is C. So you do recall your sine x. Sine x is the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. So that is your A over C. And your cosine x. Cosine x is your B over C. So today I'm going to prove to you a formula, an identity, that is your tangent x apparently is your sine x divided by your cosine x. So why is this so? I'm going to prove this to you. So you have your tangent x over here. Your tangent x apparently is your opposite over adjacent, right? That's your A over B. So trigonometry, you define that based on the definition, your sine x is A over C, cosine x is B over C, tangent x is A over B. So if I were to use my sine x, I'm going to divide by my cosine x. My sine x is A over C. I'm going to divide by my cosine x is B over C. So I have this equation here. And if I were to use a fraction, divide by a fraction, it's actually multiplying by the reciprocal of the fraction that's below. So like this, I can cancel off my C. I have A over B. So A over B is your tangent x. A over B is your tangent x. Therefore, it's proven sine x divided by your cosine x is equal to your tangent x. So this is the first identity I need to show you before I can move on to show you other trigo identity. So this part, I believe you are clear. So right now, I'm going to prove to you another trigo formula, your identity, trigonometry, basic identity. So allow me to quickly erase this. All right, now you have, okay, the formula I'm going to prove to you is your sine square x plus cosine square x is equal to 1. This is the first formula I'm going to prove to you. And the second formula I'm going to prove to you is your tangent square x plus 1 is equal to secant square x. And the third formula I'm going to prove to you is 1 plus cotangent square x is equal to cosecant square x. Then you'll be wondering, what is secant square x? What is cosecant square x? What is cotangent square x? Okay, your cotangent basically is just the reciprocal of tangent. So cotangent x is 1 over tangent x. Secant x is 1 over cosine x. And cosecant x is 1 over sine x. Okay, let's get this out of the corner. Let's get this out. So this is the definition of cotangent x. So cotangent x is the reciprocal of tangent x. Secant x is the reciprocal of cosine x. Cosecant x is the reciprocal of sine x. So this is the definition. So I'm going to prove to you the first equation. Let's call it equation 1. So sine square x plus cosine square x equal to 1. So you learn that sine x, okay, your sine x is a over c. So my sine square x is equal to a square over c square. And your cosine x is equal to b over c. So my cos square x is equal to b square over c square. So your sine square x plus cosine square x will then equal to a square over c square plus my b square over c square. That will give me a square plus b square divided by my c square. And you learn your Pythagoras theorem. Your Pythagoras theorem, you learn that in Sec 2. Your a square plus b square is your c square. Therefore, this part, my a square plus b square will be equal to c square. Hence, sine square x plus cosine square x is equal to 1, as proven. That's equation 1. That's proven to you. Any question?
No.
No, okay. So your tangent square x plus 1 is secant square x. How do I get that? So my equation 1 is going to divide by my cosine square x. So equation 1 is sine square x plus cosine square x equal to 1. So I have my sine square x divided by cosine square x plus cosine square x over cosine square x is equal to 1 over cosine square x. So just now, as I introduced earlier, sine over cosine is your tangent, right? If you recall, then this is 1. Cos square over cos square is 1. 1 over cosine is your secant. So secant square x. So I've proven the second equation to you. Equation 2 also proven. How about equation 3? Equation 3, I mean the third equation. I call it equation 3. So equation 3, right, is also equation 1 divided by sine square x. So if my equation 1 divided by my sine square x, so this one divided by sine square x, so sine square over sine square is 1. Cos square over sine. Cos over sine is 1 over tangent. Because tangent is sine over cosine. So this is 1 over tangent. So it's called cotangent square. So 1 over sine, right? 1 over sine is cosecant. So it's proven. Okay. Third equation is also proven. So this is the proving of the first 3 trigonometric identity, the formula. So any question?
No.
Okay, all can understand now.
Yeah.
So I've proven to you how this 3 formula is derived.
Mm.
So why do you need to learn how it's been derived? Because you'll be asked to prove trigonometry identity when you learn trigonometry. So in order to prove efficiently, right, it's best that you understand why. That's the reason why I would strongly recommend to my students to understand how the formula is being derived. And the good news is all these 3 formulas are given in your exams for O-levels. So there's no need to memorize the formulas because formula is given during exam, number 1. Number 2 is the O-level, right? They are not so keen to test your memory. They are more keen to test your understanding. So it's more on the application of these formulas you'll be tested. So the formulas will be given during exam. Okay, so no pressure now.
Yeah.
No question, then we move on already. Okay, that's all.